Alright guys, Friday, January the 13th, 2020, and we are in Erin, Ontario, Canada, and just picking up my header at Fireball Coatings. And I thought I'd give you a quick shot of this place. It's called Boot Hill, and they have quite an interesting setup here. They've got multiple buildings, and if I just pan around here, so obviously media blasting over there, paint and body over there, dyno tuning, upholstery, and over on this side they've got final assembly, and they've got a showroom over there, so pretty cool place. Well, I've just come out to the garage to do a bit of a video and to let you know that I picked my new shortened drive shaft up. But of course, with this project there seems to be some hurdles to overcome, let's say. So you can see here it says shorten 2 1/4. So I told the shop to shorten this drive shaft 2 1/4 inches. So it looks like they've shortened it 2 1/4 millimeters, if you can believe that. So now I'm going to call the shop back and I'm going to ask them to read back to me what I told them as far as how much to shorten it. And he better say 2 1/4 inches, because I was pretty clear on that when I dropped it off. So I'm pretty upset about that. I've waited a few days to have this done. Although the work looks great, unfortunately it is only 2 1/4 millimeters shorter rather than 2 1/4 inches shorter. So that's a bit of a bummer. So that's going to have to go back, and I'm going to have to wait for that to come back again. In the meantime, I do have the header here sitting on the garage floor that I'm going to unwrap. But I think what I'll do first is I'll go inside and I'm going to call this transmission shop and see if I can get a resolution to this. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to pay a bunch more money to get this shortened. It cost me $333 already to have this shortened, and for the new U-joints to be put in and that new slip collar to be put on. So hopefully they'll admit to their mistake and it's not going to cost me any more money. But I'll go find that out now. So I'm either coming back out in the garage today or I'm going to sit on the couch and sulk. Alright, quick update from the shop that shortened my drive shaft. So I gave them a call on the phone, and yeah, they said that they understood it to be 2 1/4 inches as well, and somebody's obviously screwed up. So they are taking the responsibility for it. At least that's good, and I've just dropped it back off there to be shortened the full amount. So I'm glad they're taking responsibility and correcting their actions. I thought I was going to have to, you know, worst case scenario, you never want to argue with a shop over what you told them and what they were supposed to do. So anyway, they've admitted the mistake, which is good customer service, and they're going to fix it as fast as they can. So all's good there. It's just unfortunate I won't be able to have it to work with in the near future. It's possible that I may actually get my differential installation kit tomorrow in the mail. So obviously I don't think I'll get the drive shaft back tomorrow. So that doesn't look like it's going to be a weekend project here. Anyway, it is what it is. We'll move on from there. Let's unpack the header, and hopefully we have better news with that. Alright guys, just unpacked the newly ceramic coated header, and it looks good. It is done in a flat silver. As mentioned previously, I had the option of doing this in a number of different coatings, including a polished silver, and just decided to go with the flat silver. It's supposed to be a little bit easier to keep clean than the polished silver. So really it's going to be a test of time on this header to see how the ceramic coating holds up. So we'll give you a report back maybe in a year or two and see how it's holding up to the use and abuse of being on the TR250. So let's just stick this on the car for fun. I'm actually still waiting on a new gasket for the intake and exhaust. It's coming in the mail with the kit for the differential installation. So again, that's supposed to be at my mailbox possibly tomorrow. So I'm just going to stick this on there temporarily with the understanding that it'll have to come back off again. But we'll stick it on there and we'll put our newly welded pipes on and see how close we did as far as the match of that versus the actual ceramic coated header. Cost for this to be done was $275. So pretty much the cost of the header itself was about $275. So we've added another $275 to that cost. So getting closer to just getting a stainless steel header. but not that close. Alright, just a quick shot of the header installed loosely on the car. Again, it's got to come off because I need the new intake and exhaust gasket. So no clamps on it yet. It went on nice and easy. The pipes actually match not too bad as far as color is concerned, from the flat silver to, not even sure what the VHT color is that I painted the mid pipes with, but it's a fairly close match. And then it'll fade to black when we repaint the rear of the exhaust. The rear of the ANSI exhaust, I think, was originally flat black, so we'll get some VHT flat black paint when we are able to, and we'll touch that up a little bit at the rear of the car. So that's it for this part of the video. We'll do one last little ending part, and then we'll call it enough for the day. So as mentioned in part one of this Nissan R200B Differential conversion series, I had mentioned that I was going to be tracking costs. So I've just written a few things down here now that I've got actual costs, and parts are either here or on their way. And I've got no more cash outlays. At least I hope there are no more cash outlays for this conversion. So let's have a look at what we've got written down here. So I've got an actual versus if I was to buy it from all of Good Parts, so all Good Parts order, directly off the website and paying full retail off the website, versus me actually buying bits here and there and doing some of the machining locally. So this is my actual cost for this conversion. This is in Canadian dollars. I've converted the US to Canadian dollars. So if you need to convert it back, just to use a currency calculator to calculate back to US dollars or UK pound sterling, whatever you need to do, this is the Canadian version of this conversion, dollar value wise. So the R200 diff that I bought was a local purchase, and it cost me $400 Canadian. The drive shaft shortening, and we've just had a little bit of a dilemma there as mentioned prior to this video, that cost me $333 Canadian. The installation kit for Good Parts, from Good Parts directly, and this is including shipping to my US mailbox. When I do the currency conversion from the US to Canadian, it's $831 for the installation kit and shipping to my US mailbox. When I get that shipped from my US mailbox to my Canadian mailbox and pay duties and taxes, that's an additional $150 Canadian. So the grand total, so I should mention, machining wise, I was able to get Aline to help me with the machining of that input flange for the Nissan differential. So we had zero machining costs. So that's kind of a big thing there. I'm not sure how much that would have cost. Let's say it was going to be $100 to get somebody locally to machine that if need be. So anyway, I've saved a bit of cost there as far as the machining is concerned. So the grand total in Canadian dollars that I've spent on this conversion is $1,714 so far, but I don't believe there are any more additional costs unless I run into some issues. So if I was to buy all of these components directly from the Good Parts website, and that includes all machining done of the differential and of the drive shaft, for example, here are those totals. So to get the R200B differential, which is already machined by Good Parts, that would have been $758, and that is that's a conversion from a $600 differential, which is the cheapest differential that he offers. They go all the way up to $1,000 as mentioned, depending on the year, the gear ratio, the mileage on them, etc. So that is the cheapest option from a Canadian dollar perspective to get directly from Richard's website. That does not include any shipping. Drive shaft, if you look at Richard's website, I believe it's $420 US to buy a shortened drive shaft. So that converts to $540 Canadian. The installation kit is the $750, which is a $600 US price converted is $58 Canadian. Now, of course, I need to include all the shipping, taxes, and duty in there. So it was going to be about $190 Canadian to ship from Richard to my US mailbox, and then from the US mailbox to my Canadian mailbox, and again this will include duties, taxes, etc. It was going to be an additional $317. So the total of that, if I was to use Richard, would be $2,563 just to buy it from Richard's website with everything done and everything required for this conversion. Total $2,563. So actual versus buying it directly from Good Parts, so 1714 to 2563. So I've saved myself $849 by doing a few things locally here. So that's a good thing. Now, also take into account this does not factor in any labor at all. So this is a conversion being done by myself. So if you factor in labor, I'm not sure what the labor rates are in your area, and I'm not sure how long this will actually take me to do. But again, that's got to be considered into the total if you cannot do the work yourself. All right, that's it for the cost of this conversion. So I'll await your comments.